Am I the a-hole for naming my baby after my sister told me she wanted that name? I, 25F, had a couple names picked out since I found out I was pregnant, Mindy if it's a girl, and Derek if it's a boy. However, in my last few weeks of pregnancy I added another name to the list for a boy, Morgan. My sister, 28F, and I have had a close relationship for a long time, so I let her know that I had another name I was considering for a boy, and when I told her she was shocked, saying Morgan is the name she wanted if she got pregnant with a boy. She has fertility issues, so it would be a while before she got pregnant, if at all. She pleaded with me not to use that name because it was a family name on her husband's side of the family, and asked me to use the name I had originally chosen for a boy, and I told her that because she's not pregnant and might not be able to even have kids, that it wouldn't matter if I chose that name or not, and she got upset by this. A few weeks passed and I was past my due date, so I was scheduled for a C-section in a few days. After I told her this, she again asked me to please not use that name, and I told her that I wasn't sure what name I was going to pick yet, but my husband and I had already decided we would be using that name. After I gave birth, my husband and I named our son Morgan, but I didn't tell my sister because I knew she would get upset. This was my baby and I shouldn't have to give up the name I want for the slight chance she could maybe one day get pregnant. She messaged me to congratulate me on the delivery and asked what the name was. I told her we still hadn't decided what name so I could avoid drama as I had just given birth. My mom called her the next day to tell her about the baby and mentioned the name to her before I could tell her, and of course she got upset. She messaged me asking why I didn't tell her that we chose that name and why did she have to find out from mom. I told her that it was what my husband and I decided and it has nothing to do with her, so I didn't see the point in telling her when I knew what her reaction would be. Her husband was devastated and so was she, and now we barely talk, at least not like we used to. I told her she needs to get over it because I was the one who was pregnant, not her. She's being really immature about it by not talking to me and getting this upset over a name. Our relationship isn't the same now and she says it's my fault. So am I the a-hole? Edit to answer some questions. I only found out that it was a family name after my husband and I had decided on it. I wasn't trying to throw her infertility in her face, I was just trying to get her to be reasonable and see that I'm the one who was pregnant at that time, so she shouldn't get a say on what I do or don't name my baby. I didn't choose the name to hurt her or to be spiteful, I just really liked the name. She still talks to me because we are family, she was my maid of honor after all of this happened, so I think she's moved past it, or at the very least she doesn't bring it up anymore. She doesn't seem very attached to my son, but she's very involved with my other sister's kids, which hurts, but is ultimately her choice whether or not she wants a good relationship with my son or not. I don't think that's up to me at all. Also, I won't be changing his name as I don't think I should have to. She's decided not to name any potential children she has Morgan because it doesn't sit right with her to use the name after I did, and I think it would be weird to have two kids with the same name, so I agree with her on that. But she won't tell anyone the new names she has picked now anyway. The first comment is, yes, you are the a-hole. Sweet baby Jesus. 1. Y'all lied to her. 2. Used a name that had meaning to her husband and her. 3. Rubbed in her face she has fertility issues. 3.1. Not once but twice. So you are definitely TA. The second comment is, wow. You are so up your own ass it's unreal. Have you once, in your life, give a shit about how your sister would feel if it didn't inconvenience you? Your words don't show an ounce of care unless it would affect you. Yes, you are the a-hole. The third comment is, my sister and I have had a close relationship for a long time, right up to me throwing her infertility issues up in her face repeatedly, lying to her, and using a family name but not our family name. Nope. My sister's husband's family name. A name they desperately wanted for their child. This was a shitty, spiteful move. One you did intentionally. And you seem shocked your relationship has changed. It hasn't changed because of a name. It changed because your sister realized how little you value her. And your reaction? Telling her she needs to get over it and how immature she is. Pathetic. Yes, you are the a-hole. So much TA. The fourth comment is, yes, you are the a-hole. OMG, or yes, you are the a-hole. The fact that you had another name picked out that you could have gone with instead but didn't, because why should you choose a different name for a sister that might never be able to have kids, shows a level of heartlessness I didn't know new mothers could possess. It might not have been your intention, OP, but your whole post reads like you found out your sister might want to name a possible future baby Morgan, and so you doubled down and made sure that she couldn't. It added insult to injury for a sister whose only sin was asking you not to name your baby something because she wanted to name her child that. I don't think you can fathom the depth of hurt that you've heaped on your sister when she's already experiencing the pain of infertility. Shame on you. The fifth comment is, yes, you are the a-hole. Not for the name so much as the fact that you threw her infertility in her face. You should be so lucky that you were able to get pregnant and have a child. You sound like you lack empathy. P.S. It is your fault, all your fault.